When we arrived at Barber, the administration was fantastic. We had to wait for a short while for someone to escort us through the enormous paddock to our allotted parking space. I hadn't met Ed before, so after a quick intro, off to scrutineering. And then it was my first sit on the bike, size myself up, figure out where things are. I've not sat or seen one of these before, so it was very interesting. Ed had two 350s. One was a wide case and a short stroke motor, a little bit softer tuned, and the number one bike was a longer stroke, narrow case. Ed had raced the bikes for years, so no one knew them better than him. Then it was time to ride the bike for the first time. Where we were in the paddock, we were struggling to hear the tannoys, particularly with the classic bikes banging round. It was easy to start on the engine starter, and it sounded really sweet and crisp. Once I figured out where the gear lever was and which way to press it, I was off. I managed about 4 or 5 laps in the first session, but instantly I noticed we had a problem with the gear selection.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, is it third gear? I think it's third gear in the fourth, because it's where when you go down the start finish here, you go around turn 1 and 2, and then it goes in a dip, and you come up.
I explained to Ed where the problem was and what I thought the problem might be.
It's turn 5, it kind of drops down into the dip. When you come out of that, whatever gear you go down there, I think it's third gear. When you go to the fourth, you just want to go into gear. But you don't need to push the gear lever again, you just let the wrench go back down and then it jumps into gear. It's like it's not, it's the selector fork is pushing out. I don't know how it works.
So we tried to check out a few things, the gear linkage, clutch adjustment, simpler stuff, and give it a go in the second session. The problem was still there, but what I tried to do was be more precise with the gear change, not pressing it quite as hard.
It's nice and crisp where I need it, but the gear change is a big change then. Yeah. I'll tell you about it in a minute. Can we just do tyre pressures, Asaf?
Yeah, we'll check that. Yep, we'll do that.
We inherited a retinal disease with our eyes, so put it yeah. Gotta back off that brake.
The exhaust looks alright, not too bad though.
That's what I want to look at here. Wait, look at it. Look at that.
Are you happy
Huh?
with that?
Nice, I think that.
Well, you're the expert.
Yeah. I mean, I could probably go down a jet, but
It's
I'm gonna pull the plug on it. But that pipe looks good. It's
Okay.
good dry. There's no wetness in there or anything.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
It's the colour. The colours. I mean, that's the problem with these modern fuels. They don't burn the same. Right. Anything with lead in used to get out really tuned the colour.
Ed had noticed that the rear wheel wasn't rotating quite as freely as it should do, so he pulled it out just to check the brake shoes and the condition of the lining, etc.
It seems free too, you know it.
Is what, sorry?
It seems free.
Yeah. There's no springs broken.
Nope. See where it's not hitting every place. Look at that.
It's not a uniform, is it?
Not at all.
Got a bit of a pickup there.
Helping on to get to send them all over. I wonder if it's getting. If I need to have a little more play in it here yet. Put it in, and it pulls this everything together. There's a shim in there.
Yeah, if you feel just about there, there's a rough area.
Oh yeah.
Feel that?
Yep.
I'd be probably tempted to sand that out.
Yeah. I think there's sandpaper in that.
Yeah, well, singles traditionally vibrate no matter what you do with them. And there's very, very few ever have ridden which don't, and this doesn't. It's just revs and a sweet little sound. I don't know how much you'll get out. It's like corroded. It's corrosion. So it'll be a steel liner pushed into an aluminium hub, and that's probably where the join is.
I thought I had some there.
Because they'll probably make it out of a strip, weld it, and then slide it in, machine it, and leave it.
How about a piece of this?
That'll do.
That'll work.
Huh?
That'll work.
The issue was there was some corrosion in the brake liner itself where the join was.
Weird that, isn't it? Just hit it there, yeah. Okay. Just try that sitting in.
I would say it.
Is that okay?
I believe.
Bit out. Down it, down it. Right. I say so.
Now.
I thought it'd be a good idea later in the day to take the spare bike out, so let's see if it runs first. I noticed as I was riding out the clutch was a little bit grabby and I only managed one lap on the track because the clutch ultimately was slipping really badly.
It's hugely under geared too. That's a 46, it probably wants a 42, I would say.
Oh yeah?
Even going slowly, it was like 7,000 revs, top gear. And third gear as well. When you change down into third gear, it goes into neutral, and when you open the throttle, even without touching anything, it comes back in again. So there's a third gear issue with this too. But the big problem was the clutch. It was just no drive. Even I pulled out of the slip down this the pit road.
Yeah,
And it's
we saw that.
straight away, and that's with no power. So yeah, the clutch. I would have a look at the clutch to see if the pack. It's very grabby, but even when it's home, there's no drive. So I don't know how the packs work on these.
That's all very good, I know.
We had to get the clutch sorted out, so it was all hands on deck. It was great being part of Ed's family team, with Johnny, Will, Tyler and Wayne all helping out. So with the clutch rebuilds, big team effort, off round the paddock just to make sure it all works. Managed to get out in the next session, however, after 2 laps this happened.
Shut up! Oh, you killed it.
No, it killed itself.
Was that right? What, the engine?
I think the pistons broke or something like that.
You're kidding.
No, big locked up solid. Well, the motor just broke, but it's got an oil leak on it anyway. We thought we cured the oil leak, but clearly we hadn't. And then it's broke anyway, like a piston or a rod or something. It's broken. It stopped at 8,000 RPM.
That's the spare bike, isn't it?
That's the spare bike, yeah. So keep our fingers crossed now for 2 races on the number 1 bikes. Just been down to the riders briefing for this morning. We're starting early because they're trying to get 18 races in today, so they brought the start time forward. So I'm race 7, which may be just before lunch or just after lunch. They're not really sure at the moment. So I didn't know about starting positions or anything. So they're setting off. There's 3 groups in my race. 500s at the front, 350s behind, and then some 125s at the back. So we're effectively in the second wave, and I'm on the 3rd row because they're going off championship positions. So I'm obviously not in the championship, so I'm on the 3rd row. So it'd be great to follow the guys around for a couple of laps and then see what I can do about it.
How many laps is the race?
8 laps. So I'm going to go up now and watch a couple of starts on top of the pit area there. So I've got a bit of an idea, because the guy who starts the races jumped up this morning and says, "You all know me," he says, "You know how I start, and that's how I'm going to start today." Of course, I've not seen the guy, so I want to know what he's about. Heartwarming to see, and for what you say is it is a lot of fun running across the track.
That's what this class is about.
Shouting the hell at each other.
I was up here a few years back, and the guy was watching these guys, the little 160s go by, and he said, "What size are those engines?" And I said, "They're 160s." He said, No, those there." I said, "Yeah, they're 160s." He said, No, they've got to be like 500s. I said, "No, they're 160s." You couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Two of them just got tangled up.
Yeah.
Go like hell, don't they?
And they're noisy, they'll get out as well.
The dark horse in this race for me is that CX500. A Vincent and an old Manx by the looks of it.
Yep.
It was time to get some heat in the bike ready for the first race. There's plenty of races with a right mixed bunch of bikes, a real eclectic mix of all sorts.
I think everything's ready.
Ready? Yes.
Well, after waiting in the warm-up area, then doing the warm-up lap and reforming on the grid, couldn't quite figure out why I was surrounded by superbikes. Thought they can't be with us, what's going wrong here? Anyway, eventually the starter came down and told us to get off the grid because we were in the wrong race. Apparently, the first race automatically after lunch is this superbike race. Nobody told us, all very embarrassing.
So Mike, that was a quick excursion. What happened?
Yeah, we're at the first race after lunch, so I made my way down there. They were shouting at the race, whatever it was, so made my way down there, and there was all these superbikes surrounding us in the warm-up area. And I thought, I don't think they should be in my race. So then we went out on the sighting lap, got back to the line, and all the superbikes were on the front row. And then there was just me and another guy on the near Mackie, kind of wandering about trying to find where to stop, and the starter's going, get off the grid. But anyway, it's all good fun. Give us a chance to get a lap.
You actually did a lap though, didn't you?
Yeah.
So soon you go again.
Yeah. They'll be shouting us in a minute. For those of you who have a sensitive disposition, please turn away now or turn the sound down. I have to apologise for the over revving as it jumps out of gear repeatedly.
If you listen carefully going through the chicane, you can hear the throttler stick open. Managed to limp back to the pit lane by repeatedly pressing the kill button on and off, literally riding it on the kill button. Sorry?
I think you got enough motor for him, huh? Alex there.
Oh, so I got him, yeah.
Yeah.
No, the race was done, but I thought,
Aye.
never mind.
Oh, what a bomber, huh?
Jumping out of gear a lot as well.
Huh?
He was jumping out of gear again.
Get the job done.
Yeah, I think he was going as fast as he needed to go. To be
Yeah,
honest.
right.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Gotta do it every time.
Not a drink.
Top of the car came loose and came off. Just unscrewed himself.
No, the carb's tight.
He had the legs on him. He had the clean. That was a full-run.
Start like.
Aye.
You got a channel lock.
Oh, but yeah,
I know, he just absolutely
Well, I think there's a nice
loved that whole
it was obviously the first launch I did on the bike. The first start, so it's always difficult getting a feel for it.
How'd you get off the hole? The hole pretty good to
Not
start.
too bad, yeah. I was a bit precious with the clutch. I didn't want to burn the clutch too hard. Maybe you did drop it down the stop.
Yeah, make sure the needle's there.
Yeah. Well, you know, they have that little slot ones down the side. I think it's jumped on top of that.
Yeah, it jumped out of it. Yeah, it's going backwards. You need to rotate the slide.
Did you have problems?
No, I was all good. Did you have?
Yeah, the top of the carburetor unscrewed and came out.
I thought I saw you pull off to the
Yeah,
left.
I was on full gas. Permanently.
Oh shoot.
But yeah, bit of a downer, but what can you do? So does your bike have gearbox issues? Like, pretty no, it's jumping out of third
No,
gear
I
all
got
the
a
time.
selector box from a guy in New Zealand. Sports Cycles. What's his name?
Oh, Steve Wynn.
No.
I know
Glenn
you mean
Robinson.
that. Glenn Robinson, yeah.
Yeah.
I know Glenn, yeah.
That selector box made all the difference.
Yeah.
I mean, the gearbox being shimmed right first, but then
Yeah.
his selector box, I never miss a gear.
Yeah.
Solid.
That's what it needs, isn't
Yeah,
it?
because the little detent with the little ball in there doesn't stay in gear.
Yeah. Just try it there, Ed. Just try it, Ed. No, the chain.
Okay.
A little loose.
Might be a little bit, huh? We've got an inch and a half. Maybe.
Well, we've still got a bit to go on the suspension because it's hitting the thing.
So what I would do, Mike, is I would wire from down to that point, down to there, lock wire it down, and that will never unscrew again. So
Right.
that will just, if you tighten that,
That's
it'll never
it, game
unscrew.
over, yeah.
And if ever come unscrewed, it just can't unlock.
No, can't do it now.
So if they've got some lock wire, I'd wire that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And it won't come undone again.
No.
It'll just wire it and never come up.
Wire players.
What's that?
Lock wire players. Thank you very much.
Pulling the wire tight, Ed.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
I
think
saw
so.
you come by and I was like, okay, good. I was expecting that.
I thought, man, this is going to be
And
good.
then I didn't look back for a while. I said, well, and I saw you missed a ship. I said, well, maybe something happened.
Yeah.
Maybe I get a freebie there.
It's wrong.
Rick is offering to do it.
That other Ducati,
Someone's buying
that's got to be a 450.
it. Doing it, Mike?
That other, the black one there,
Yeah, that was pretty sharp, that wasn't it?
that thing goes like stink. It's
Yeah.
got gobs of power.
Yeah, yeah.
When I got him, he passed me, and I didn't know if it was the white flag or what.
Right.
And people started doing these weird, going around the track weird, like they were going to wave or something. So I thought, okay, well that's that. But then the pace picked up again, and I said, shit, it's not over. I thought I missed the flag, with my head down, and they're up in the air. I hate it when they're up in the air like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's
And
not good, is it?
I showed the wheel before last corner, and then got into the last corner.
You're really good through that last bit.
I'm good there.
Yeah.
I feel I'm comfortable.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And then I went and I got more throttle than I had tried all race. The thing that 9 and 10. But he jumped the start, supposedly.
He did, didn't he? He definitely jumped. Yeah. There was one guy. I'm pretty sure it was his. He was out of there before the flag came up.
He has a real short first gear. I've seen him do wheelies like
Yeah.
this. It's like, oh my god.
It must have like a road box in it or something.
Yeah, it's a road box. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry you lost your.
Yeah, that would have been a good race.
It's your fault.
That would have been. Yeah, it is. Probably wasn't tight.
Oh, look at the safety wiring going on now.
Yeah, it's not coming off now.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, Alex.
All right.
Thanks very much, Alex. I was going to come over in a minute anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to meet you.
Yeah. No problem. He comes shooting past me, that corner near the museum,
Yeah.
and there's a short straight, and then you go through the chicane.
Yeah.
He comes flying past me into the chicane, and I don't back out of it.
Yeah.
And he came flying past me and then braked. I nearly collected him. Oh, for God's sake.
Oh well, yeah.
What lap did you fall off on? I mean, fall out on?
Third lap.
Was it third
Yeah.
lap?
It's fairly early.
You made Alec run hard. First time he's ever beat me on that bike.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I was.
It's like, no, that Mike Edwards is here, huh? That's cool. You come over and rode this bike.
Yeah, no, I'm really pleased. Really pleased to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you.
Have a drive around and stop at a few of the meets on the way out.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Just have a little
It's
look
full
around.
out there, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see you in the morning.
So we'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, take care.
All right, Ed. Well, what we're seeing here is that when they come into view, they just come down the start-finish straight, and you drop into a dip, which is effectively turn 1, and then you run right the way around here. It's a really big, long loop, and effectively it's turn 2 and 3, and then there's a short straight which takes you down to the first hairpin. It's quite a convoluted track. It comes back on in itself, so it's very compact. There's an awful lot of undulation, ups and downs, some really long corners. It's got a great selection of everything. It's a really great track. But I think what makes Barber special more than anything else is just the atmosphere and the surroundings is just so absolutely beautiful.
Go through the gears.
The one thing, if you notice it, how much lighter it is. The pressure is lighter.
Yeah.
Really, what whenever you put a linkage in, I mean, it's a bit of an open subject. Whenever you put a linkage in, those ratios should theoretically be the same. So that the amount of pressure you're putting on that and the amount of movement is exactly the same as on the. Imagine if the gear lever was on there, so it's kind of the same. Okay. So if you alter those, change those, you alter the speed of them, and you also alter the pressure of them. It's kind of like if you were trying to undo a big nut like that, you wouldn't use a small spanner because the ratio is wrong. You'd use a big spanner so you can get more force, so it's easier. So if you make this travel more, it's going to be lighter. So if you make it travel less, it's going to be heavier. It'll move less, so the theory is it changes gear faster, but it's also more imprecise because it's traveling such a small amount. Right. So if it travels more, it's kind of more accurate. We'll try that, Ed.
That's far as that pit, as far as this is, it's like a little.
But you're not gonna. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
I was wondering, but like you said, that'd confuse you too. To just put the regular normal panel on, but that'd confuse you.
Yeah.
You'd be down for a little, you know.
Yeah, it'd be like a road bike.
Yeah.
I mean, I can ride anything at the end of the day. I've rode hand shifts, so it's.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I wish we had just a little practice, practice
It
lap
would,
or two.
yeah, practice lap or two, yeah.
Unless you're just going to try and stick with this here, but
Well, it's a sink or swim, is the way I said. In the deep end, let's go swimming. To be honest, you don't have to go fast to make it jump out of gear. You just got to like rev it and then press the gear lever, and find what it's like. But the problem is when you're focusing that much on the race, you sort of think less about the gear change. Right. If you have to sort of say, okay, take your eye off the ball and really focus on the gear change, you know, you've only got so much concentration. I mean, stuff like changing gear is subliminal. It's instant. You shouldn't have to think about it. At this point, I think I was sending Ed to sleep. If I'm having to think about it, I have to kind of take my eye off the ball a little bit.
That should just all be muscle memory.
It's there. Yeah, that's just where it is. Yeah. But I was trying so hard to not rush the gear change. Yeah. But when the guy's getting away in front of you, you know, come on. And before we knew it, it was time to get the bike warmed up, ready for the last race.
Jumping back. I have to come over to break the bridge. It's all right, isn't it?
Well, it's just the selector box. This right here. Yeah, both sides.
Yeah, it is.
Made a much better start this time, however never got past the first turn, once again throttle sticking up. Well, that didn't go as planned. After a short ride of shame in the recovery vehicle, it was time to find out what had actually gone wrong.
Here you go.
if you don't mind. Jumped out of gear, I got it back in gear, got carried on. This is from the start to the turn 1. And then when I went to shut the throttle, stuck wide open.
Throttle?
Throttle wide open.
What in the world?
I don't know.
Oh man.
Throttle stuck. I just want to see if it'll start, see if it runs. You want to run it up?
Huh?
Do you want to see if it runs up?
Yeah. See if it runs again. You didn't know how to ship them back.
Fucking thing. Okie dokie. Yep. Just the throttle.
How's the motor sound, though?
Motor was alright.
Yeah.
It's not bottoming out, the slide.
Huh?
The slide isn't bottoming out.
Oh, so the cable's like short.
It's like the cable's short.
That's not bottoming.
Yeah. It is. See, it does it occasionally. See, there's gone down.
Well, it's got to pull apart here once you want to try and run it at 500 if it runs yet, huh?
Yeah, we'll have to take the carb apart, just take the top off the carb.
You get it in third gear, it all going down through there.
It missed gear going to the first corner, so I got it back into gear, got going again, and then when I went to shut off, she wouldn't shut off.
Yeah.
No, I'm good, but I can't go around the course on full gas all the time.
Well, that was us all done, and Ed and his team had a 13-hour drive to get home, so they wanted to get off early. The world-renowned motor museum at Barber is definitely worth a visit. Ed had hired a golf buggy to make getting around the circuit a lot easier. It's a huge facility, and all around the circuit, on the outside, are various bike meets, swap meets and so on. Last couple of corners down the bottom of Barber.